Hello GBA fans, welcome to the playoff picture. I am your host Blue Rogue, and yeah, this week we had some interesting results in the old GBA, which made the playoff picture look a little more clear as we go forward into the last 3 weeks of this season. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into this. First, let's look at the Southern Conference standings. First of all, we have Envy leading the way with his San Diego Team Chargers. 8-1 record plus 30 differential. Not clinched yet. They've missed out on mathematically clinching by 2 differential points. But he would have required to lose all his games 6-0 and Joey to win all his games 6-0 for him not to make it. So he's virtually clinched. So let's just say he is for the sake of it. Second place, you have Jolt and his Kaiser City Giraffe Chiefs on a bit of a losing streak. Well, I say a losing streak, they've lost 2 games all season. Those 2 games happen to be in the last 2 weeks. But yeah, Jolt on a bit of a slide right now. 7-2 record, plus 19 differential. In third place, you got Lars and his Borussia Dortmund 6-3 record, plus 12 differential. Not much to say about Lars. He won this week. It's a good win, put him in a better position. As for Gio, in the last wildcard spot at the moment, he lost to Crimson this week, and that could have implications later on, let's face it. 5-4 differential plus 2, 5-4 differential, 5-4 record rather, plus 2 differential. And just behind him now, after a very, very good win against Jolt, you have Joey and his Bronx Bertix, 5-4 record, minus 3 differential, missing out by differential points right now. But like I said, a loss against Crimson for Gio, but a win against Jolt for Joey has really sort of changed the momentum a bit in this race. Just behind them, well, I say just behind them, quite a ways off from the others of the pack, you've got Aaron Zeng and his Melbourne Rotoms, 2-7 right now. You've got Crimson, 2-7 as well, minus 19 differentials behind them. Both not mathematically eliminated right now, but going into next week is looking likely that it could be. And then, of course, you have Coach C right at the bottom. So, not much to say about Coach C. He took another 6-0 loss and was already eliminated. So, let's move on to the Moon Conference, which is, shaping up quite nicely. You got in first place the Florida Gators, 7-2 record plus 17 differential on top of their division. And on top of the other division, you've got Monatui and his Tampa Bay Luxray, 7-2 record plus 15 differential. Behind them in the wildcard spots, you have the New Orleans Pelicans, 7-2 record, plus 12 differential. And then behind him, you have the Philadelphia Scissors and Chimpact, 6-3 record, plus 7 differential. A loss against, I can't remember who lost against, Gator. He lost against Gator this week. That puts Chimp in the danger zone, sort of in playoff race, but not really, as Wolfie also kind of lost this week. So there's that. Wolfie sort of in a precarious position in playoffs now. Moon standing looking a bit sort of set in stone at this point. But Wolfie and Asta and Tom rather, aren't out of it mathematically, but it's not looking likely. But the order they're going in right now is Wolfie just outside the playoffs. I say just outside, pretty far outside. 4 and I believe 5. 4 and 5? I think it's 4 and 5. Let me have a look at the standings real quick. 4 and 5, yep. 0 differential. Behind them, Tom and his San Jose Sharpedos, 3-6 record, minus 6 differential. And then you got Asta, who, another win this week for Asta. He's on a bit of a winning streak. It's a bit too late for Asta, I feel, to have a winning streak and make a playoffs. But, he's looking a bit better form-wise than Wolfie and Tom right now, so there's that. But he's at 3-6 record right now, minus 11 differential. It's looking very unlikely for him. And of course, there's Necro Stevo right at the bottom with 0-9 record, minus 26 differential. Yikes. So now that we've seen the standings, let's have a look at the fixtures for the remaining weeks of the GBA season and just see how it all affects the playoff picture as a whole. We'll start with the Sun Conference. Sun Conference clinching scenarios first. Envy can clinch this week if he just beats Lars or just doesn't lose badly. So, Envy's looking like pretty good to clinch next week. Jolt, if he beats Gio, clinches 100%. And now, I think those are the only 2 clinching scenarios for next week. But now let's have a look at the eliminations. The eliminations are a bit more complicated, but I'll just go over them quickly. If Joey beats Crimson, Crimson is eliminated. If Coach Z beats the Melbourne Rotoms, coached by Aaron Zeng, Aaron Zeng is eliminated. If Geo beats Jolt and Joey beats Crimson, then Crimson and Aaron Zeng are both eliminated. And I believe that's all it is for eliminations this week. Of course, Coach Z already eliminated from playoffs. So let's have a look at just how the season's going to shape up then. Looking at the matchups, I'm going to make a prediction here. I believe Lars actually has the toughest run. He has Envy, he has Jolt, he has Joey. Those are three very, very good opponents. While Geo and Joey, on the other hand, have a slightly easier run of things. Granted, like, Lars is that one game ahead. But overall, yeah, he has a difficult run. While Joey has Crimson, who's not had a great season. And he also has Aaron Zeng, who's not had the best season either. While Geo has two very tough opponents in Jolt and Envy, yes. But he also has Coach Z in week 12, which I think gives him a little bit of a bit of an edge over Lars maybe in the race. So I'm going to predict that Geo and Joey make it. But then again, because of Lars being that game ahead, it might put him in over, say, Geo. But yeah, it's definitely looking very close between those three, but those wildcard spots. And it's looking pretty exciting as we go into these final few weeks. Now let's go over the Moon Conference. Now the Moon Conference has a much simpler picture here. If basically if Chimpact wins this week against NecroStevo, which seems likely, both Tom and Asta are both eliminated. Wolfie, if he wins this week, wouldn't be eliminated, but he'll be very close to being eliminated. If Wolfie loses this week, he's of course eliminated, especially if Chimpact wins. So it's looking a bit more cut and dry here. Basically, the clinching scenarios, like I said, because of the elimination scenarios I just mentioned, pretty simple as well. Everyone's just got to sort of win. So yeah, that's the Moon Conference. Moon Conference not looking as close or as exciting. Well, that might change. Maybe NecroStevo will upset the sort of everything and sort of keep Chimpact in check this week. So give us a bit more of an exciting climax maybe. But yeah, Moon Conference looking a bit more cut and dry. But yeah, that's the playoff picture going forward in terms of fixtures. Let's just have a look at the bracket real quick before we leave though. Of course, it has not really changed since last week, but have a look. We have, of course, Chimpact versus Geo as things stand, which is, of course, a rematch of a previous playoff match from a few seasons ago. We, of course, have the new guy Jolt against Lars in the other match. And the Moon Conference is just kind of flipped. It's just kind of it's the same matchups, but they're both like swap sides. But anyway, it's Gator versus Chimpact there, and of course Mono versus John. So look, that's the playoff picture going forward as we can move into week number 10. It's looking like an exciting week next week. Lots of things can be decided next week, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me know what your predictions are in the comment section below. I have been Blue Rogue, and this has been the playoff picture. Goodbye, my friends.